you someone that struggles with time and space, and you feel pretty overwhelmed when you have to go out there and show up in the world, in society, small talk, conversations, spend your day with other people, and you always crave the weekends or crave the moments when everybody is to themselves and you finally get a breather and you finally can get to your home in your safe space, but you won't feel that you have to run away from your animals, your pets. We feel this overwhelm, or we feel that we want this kind of space, is when we're struggling to be something that we are not during the day with our interactions. Now, some of you might say, but isn't it the case that we have to put on a facade and that we are something else and we engage in polite conversations and what they call social graces? Yes, there is that. There is that. But you don't have to pretend. You don't have to put a smile on. You don't even have to say hello or talk to people or engage in the way that you don't feel like engaging in. You can still be authentic, and that you're very much aligned with that. And that alignment with your authenticity is usually your very deep voice, is when you drop your voice down in your belly. Of you who have experienced pretty much a life of not being who you are, not being allowed to be yourself because you're scared that you might get shouted at, you're scared that you might be rejected, you're scared that you won't be accepted, except that we now know that there is nobody or nothing there really to accept us except for ourselves. Now, you are the kind of people who will then be struggling with that authenticity, and that so many of you will be exhausted, will be leading your adult lives as being very exhausted people, as being people who crave their distance, they crave their space, they crave their time, they crave their aloneness, they crave that moment, and yet at the same time you crave being understood, you crave that real company, you crave that company that's going to understand you, that's going to make you feel safe, make you feel seen, make you feel heard, make you feel secure, because you don't feel that you can trust anyone so easily. You don't feel that you can really be yourself, and you can't afford to be yourself with all those wounds and all those bruises unless you feel safe in doing so. Bearing in mind that you're carrying all of this baggage anyway, and for some of you who may not be carrying this baggage, you may be somebody who craves this space, or you want to be on your own simply because you might be going through the nuances of a spiritual awakening. You might be going through periods of heightened sensitivity. You might be an empath. You might be psychic, and maybe being around a lot of people drains you, and therefore you crave that space. But here's another little turn to that too, which may or may not apply to you, but I'm going to tell you this anyway. For some of us who then become highly sensitive, become highly intuitive, and also highly instinctive, because there's a difference between being highly intuitive and being highly instinctive. Because when you're highly instinctive, your gut instincts, when they come to play, you know that you're looking out for danger. And when you're looking out for danger, you're trying to sniff these things out. You sniff these things out because that's the kind of environment that you were so used to living in. So for you, love and danger went pretty much hand in hand. So wherever there was a potential love, there was always a potential danger, which then means that you're probably going to be attracting partners like that, which is a post for another day. But coming back to, then you're scared of being authentic because you have learned that in the past, being authentic and being highly sensitive, because you're always trying to figure out whether something is dangerous for you or not, so you become hyper vigilant. You don't know whether it's safe for you. And that's why a lot of us get exhausted when we are trying to engage with other people. Now, the beauty of you going through your spiritual awakening and you becoming so aware, you becoming awareness itself, is that none of those things come into play anymore. So that even if you're an empath, even if you're psychic, and even if you're highly sensitive, you are experiencing life at a grand scale because of your intensity. You may have come to a point when you know how to manage yourself a little bit more. You will not overextend yourself. You will not overdo things. You will know when to retract and when you need that power nap, when you need to go back to the nest, when you need to go back to that couch, right? If it means taking 10-minute power naps during the day, whatever it takes for you to manage those moments of overwhelm, those moments of you needing a lot of space. But know that it's okay to need that space. It's okay for you to experience this, but a little something for you to think about: how authentic and how easy is it for you to be yourself in your day-to-day interactions? And is there anything you can do to change that, or are you happy with the way that this is, so that you are living the most authentic version of yourself